Limited beliefs. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because of a sentence running quietly in the background of their mind. A sentence they didn't consciously choose. A sentence they've repeated so many times it feels like truth. I'm not good enough. I'm not disciplined. I'm just not that type of person. I've always been this way. People like me don't succeed. That sentence is a limited belief. And if you don't confront it, it will quietly build the limits of your entire life. Let's start here. You don't experience life as it is. You experience life as you believe it is. Your beliefs filter opportunity. They filter effort. They filter risk. They filter how much you try. If you believe you're bad at business, you won't push fully. If you believe you're inconsistent, you won't trust yourself. If you believe you can't change, you won't attempt real transformation. Limited beliefs don't scream, they whisper. And because they whisper, you think they're your own voice. But here's the truth. Most of your limiting beliefs were installed, not chosen. Maybe a teacher told you you weren't smart. Maybe you failed once and decided that was proof. Maybe your environment normalized mediocrity. Maybe you tried before and quit, and now you say, that's just who I am. But one experience is not identity. One failure is not destiny. One past version of you is not your permanent self. Let's go deeper. A limited belief is not just a thought. It's a decision you made about yourself. And once you decide something about yourself, your behavior starts aligning with it. If you decide, I'm not disciplined, then every time discipline feels hard, you interpret that as confirmation. See, I knew it. But what if discipline feels hard for everyone? What if the discomfort isn't proof of inability, but proof of growth? Limited beliefs are dangerous because they disguise themselves as logic. You don't say, I'm scared to try. You say, it's not realistic. You don't say, I'm afraid of failing. You say, now's not the right time. You don't say, I don't trust myself. You say, I'll start later. Later becomes never, not because you're lazy, but because your belief system is protecting your current identity. Here's something powerful. Your brain's main job is not success, it's safety. And safety means familiarity, even if that familiarity is small, even if that familiarity is frustrating, even if that familiarity keeps you stuck. Your brain would rather keep you in a familiar struggle than push you into unfamiliar growth. That's why change feels uncomfortable. It's not just new behavior, it's a new identity. If you've seen yourself as inconsistent for years, becoming consistent feels unnatural. If you've labeled yourself as shy, becoming confident feels fake. If you've believed you're not the type, stepping into leadership feels wrong. But wrong doesn't mean impossible. It means unfamiliar. Let's bring this into real life. Work, you want a promotion, but you quietly believe you're not leadership material. So you don't speak up in meetings, you don't volunteer for responsibility, you don't push your ideas. Then you say, they never notice me. But your belief shaped your behavior. Jim, you want to get in shape, but you believe you're bad at sticking to routines. So when motivation drops, you interpret that as proof. See, I knew I couldn't keep it up. And you quit. Relationships. You believe you're not worthy of respect. So you tolerate behavior you shouldn't. Then you say, I always end up in the same situations. But again, belief shaped tolerance. Tolerance shaped outcome. This is why limited beliefs are not small. They are structural. They decide what you attempt. They decide what you tolerate. They decide what you expect. And you will rarely outperform your expectations of yourself. So the question becomes, where did your beliefs come from? And more importantly, are they actually true? Not emotionally true, factually true. Is it true you can't change? Or is it true you haven't sustained change yet? Is it true you're not disciplined? Or is it true you haven't built discipline as a skill? Is it true you're not capable? Or is it true you're afraid to test your limits? Limited beliefs collapse when examined, but most people never examine them. They accept them as personality, and personality becomes prison. Now let's connect this to identity. Your identity is not fixed. It is built. Built by repetition, built by standards, built by what you tolerate. If you want to break limited beliefs, you don't fight thoughts with thoughts. You fight beliefs with behavior. If you believe you're inconsistent, prove yourself wrong in small ways. One workout, one finished task, one kept promise. Identity shifts through evidence, not affirmations. Affirmations without action feel empty, but action rewrites narrative. You don't wake up one day believing you're disciplined. You become disciplined through repetition. You don't suddenly believe you're confident. You build confidence through execution. And here's where responsibility comes in. No one is coming to reprogram your mind. No one is coming to remove your limits. No one is coming to rescue your potential. If you don't question your beliefs, you will live inside them. And the dangerous part? You'll think life is happening to you, when really it's happening through you, through your filters, through your standards, through your identity. So let's build a simple system. Step one, identify the belief. What sentence do you repeat when things get hard? I'm not that type. I can't stay consistent. I always mess this up. Write it down. Make it visible. Step two, question it. Where did this come from? What evidence truly supports it? What evidence contradicts it? Most limited beliefs are based on outdated versions of you. Step three, replace it with a growth-based belief, not delusion, not fantasy, but growth. Instead of I'm not disciplined, say I'm building discipline. Instead of I can't stick with things, say I'm learning to finish what I start. Subtle shift, massive impact. Step four, act in alignment with the new belief immediately, even in small ways. Because behavior solidifies belief. You don't believe your way into action, you act your way into belief. Now let's pause. Ask yourself, where have I been shrinking because of an old belief? Where have I been playing small? Where have I been quitting early? Where have I been accepting less? Be honest. Awareness is not weakness, it's power. You cannot rebuild what you refuse to examine. And here's something deeper. Sometimes limited beliefs are comfortable because if you believe you can't, you don't have to try. If you believe you're not capable, you don't risk failure. If you believe you're not ready, you don't have to step forward. Limited beliefs protect you from discomfort, but they also protect you from growth. And growth requires tension. Tension between who you are and who you're becoming. That tension is not a sign to retreat. It's a sign you're evolving. You will feel like an imposter when you raise your standards. You will feel unsure when you act differently. You will feel resistance when you stop tolerating excuses. That's normal because your brain is adjusting to a new identity. But stay in that discomfort. Stay consistent, stay committed, because eventually the unfamiliar becomes normal and the new belief becomes default. Long-term growth is not dramatic. It is compounding. If you shift one belief today, your behavior changes slightly. That slight change compounds. Months pass, years pass, your trajectory shifts. People will call it transformation, but it started with one decision. I refuse to stay limited. Now imagine this. What if the only thing between you and the life you want is an outdated belief? Not resources, not connections, not talent, a belief. That should both scare you and empower you, because beliefs can be rebuilt. But only if you take responsibility, not blame. Responsibility. Blame looks backward. Responsibility moves forward. You can't control your past environment. You can control your current standards. You can't control who underestimated you. You can control what you accept now. Limited beliefs shrink standards. Higher standards expand identity. And expanded identity creates new outcomes. So today, decide which belief ends here. Which story do you stop repeating? Which version of you do you retire? This is not about hype. It's about construction. You are constructing your identity daily, with every action, with every excuse, with every standard you lower or raise. Limited beliefs are not permanent. They are practiced. And what is practiced can be replaced. You are not fixed. You are formed. And you can reform. But only if you confront what's been quietly running your life. Because at the end of the day, your life will not reflect your potential. It will reflect your beliefs. And your beliefs are your responsibility now. So raise them, challenge them, rebuild them, act in alignment with the person you say you want to become. And slowly, quietly, consistently, You will outgrow the limits you once thought were permanent because you don't become powerful by thinking differently once. You become powerful by behaving differently repeatedly. And the moment you stop accepting limited beliefs as truth, you start constructing a new identity, not based on fear, not based on the past, but based on deliberate standards. You are not your old story. You are the author of the next one. Act like it.